Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Diablo 3. The monk has gotten quite the big power spike. I don't know what my paragon levels were in the last video, but we're now sitting at 214. That's a big step in the right direction. We've also rounded out our gear a little bit. There's still some pieces that need improvement, but the biggest upgrades we have is, of course, the focus and restraint ring set. Ends up being, I believe, 125% damage increase, which is a gigantic step in the right direction for our monk. As you can see, my character sheet damage is not very high, and you might be wondering why that is. Well, essentially this build is focused around using 7-sided strike as much as humanly possible. And if you take a look at my spell cooldown down here, we are coming off cooldown really damn quick. How is that? It's because we have cooldown reduction on every... Look at this roll on these gloves. Oh my god. We have cooldown reduction on just about every damn piece of gear we can get cooldown reduction on. I mean, if we go ahead and look at my stats, we are just below 60% cooldown reduction, which means we're going to be able to use 7-sided strike a ridiculous amount of time. We're going to be able to keep Epiphany nearly up 100% of the time. I'm just a little off with that, but I think that changes in combat. I think in combat, I'm actually able to maintain this almost 100%, I think. And also dash around like crazy. I mean, it's amazing. I've never had a cooldown reduction monk before. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. If we go ahead and look at the gear other than the rings, we do have the fists. I've never tried to read this before. The fists of Aztarask. That's what I'm going with, which basically increases our exploding palm explosion damage by 95%. And when we're using the cold rune, the impending doom, you can see how much weapon damage that already does. That's going to be a big step in the right direction. I changed the traits around a little bit, the passives. We're still using the dual wielding for the improved toughness. That's a huge bonus. And we have also picked up near, oh, well, we were using this before, but I also picked up near-death experience just because we are pretty squishy and we do need that extra survivability. So these rings are a huge damage increase, and I'm going to try to show that off today. Probably moving this up to 35. I believe our last one was Torment 30. All right, here we go. So we're just looking for density here. We're gonna hop in and 7-sided strike. We're not gonna stop on these little tiny clumps. We're gonna make sure that we at least have 6 mobs in every single strike that we do, and try to make a good time here. So why are my cooldowns better in combat? Essentially, it's because of our Gogok of Swiftness. It's going to allow us to essentially reduce our cooldowns by another 15% when the gym is maxed out. We have also recently, I did this like just before I started recording, recently maxed out my Bane of the Trapped as well, which is a pretty big damage increase. And I'll show those gems off, you know, at the end of this video, just in case you haven't seen them before. As you can see, the survivability with this build is actually pretty high. Once you get your cooldown reduction to, you know, a pretty high level, you're gonna be invisible. You're gonna be completely invulnerable to most of what the enemies are doing for the majority of your time in combat. Like, all I'm really doing, other than, you know, this conduit that we found here, all I'm really doing is attacking for 3 auto attacks and then hopping into the 7-sided strike as long as I possibly can. The auto attacks are applying the exploding palm, and then the 7-sided strike is detonating the exploding palm. So as you can see, it's actually really, really safe. Greater Rift 35 is going to put us somewhere around Torment 8. I believe it's the low level of Torment 8. But you know what? This is going pretty damn well. I only have one more key, but I do have some tricks up my sleeve for farming some more, and I may share that with you in the next video. Alright, we're on the next level. It actually moved into zombies, which is pretty amazing. As if this wasn't easy enough, they're throwing the easiest mob type at me now, which, I mean, I don't complain about one bit. This has been absolutely no drama. We've only been in here for a couple minutes, and already managing to push this rift pretty far. I mean, we're almost done already. Once the boss comes out, we should be able to just completely burn him down before he even knows what hit him. The only problem that we're going to run into here is finding these stupid dead ends that this map always has. So I'm going to get to the boss, we're going to kill him, and then we'll move this up to 40 and see how we do. The Rift Guardian is here. I think I can handle it, don't you worry. Just going to pop Epiphany and 7-sided strike every 2 seconds. Easy mode. Easy mode. Alright, let's go ahead and loot all this stuff. We have an immunity amulet here. My amulet is garbage, so we may actually end up using that. And we need to start upgrading my Bane of the Stricken. It did cross my mind that I never actually showed you guys my paragons or what I have in my cube now, because my cube has actually changed quite a bit. So I'm going to go do that really quick. That's going to take some getting used to, showing this cube off every time we make some progress. One of the main items in the cube that I was waiting for, when I got it, it made such a huge difference. We're talking about the Flow of Eternity. Reduces the cooldown of your 7-sided strike by 60%. Now remember, we're already, where is 7-sided strike? We're already using the sustained attack rune, which takes 14 seconds off of the cooldown. Those two items put together, plus all of his cooldown reduction that I have everywhere, is what allows me to do this so often. So that was a huge upgrade in the cube. Really happy that we have that. I am testing out the Ring of the Zodiac. Reduces the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you hit with a resource spending attack. So the only two skills I actually ever have on cooldown are 7-sided strike and Epiphany. So I'm pretty sure when I'm using 7-sided strike, if I'm spamming it a lot, it is reducing the cooldown of my Epiphany as well, which again increases my survivability. I don't think this is necessarily the best setup. I just don't have really anything else put into the cube yet that I think is worth using. So this is what we're going with. Let's go ahead and jump in and try a Greater Rift 40. I believe that puts us somewhere. Yep, that is the beginning of Torment 9. So this should be significantly harder than what we just saw. As you approach Torment 10, the game really does ramp up in difficulty. Looks like it's going to take more than one palm to actually take these guys down. Unfortunately, with all this cooldown reduction, I am missing out on a lot of critical hit chance and critical hit damage. That's going to come later in Paragons, which is the reason I need to level this character up a bit faster. Kind of slacking on my Paragons right now. But this looks doable. We just have to keep Epiphany up, keep moving, and keep striking. We have our first yellow pack here with a ground effect, so I'm actually going to move into the next room and try to fight in the doorway. I'd rather not stand in poison if I don't have to. I think all of his ads are starting to die off though, so we're going to come in and try to finish this guy off. Looks like we're going to be fine. Yep, looks like we are going to be fine. Moving on. Next level, and we have Summoning Necromancers. Don't mind if I do. These big guys might be a problem. I just need to make sure I'm actually in the 7-sided strike animation when they're going for that gigantic attack over their head. Or I could just avoid them entirely. Looks like we have a blue pack here. Orbiter, Waller, Mortar, and Avenger. So to counter the Mortar, you stack on top of them. But that's probably also where they're putting the Orbiter. Luckily, they died before they even knew what hit them. Making great progress here again. Have not proc cheat death once. Epiphany has been off cooldown quite a lot. I've been able to use it to survive in a lot of situations. That 50% reduction from Desert Shroud, I mean, that is a very noticeable increase in my survivability. Sitting at 150 million toughness there for a moment. Looks like we got a speed pylon here. I didn't even look at it before I grabbed it. and another blue pack behind us, so we're going to be able to take them down no problem. This is going really well. This is going really, really well. I could not be happier with the progress that I've been making on this character. Really, really quickly getting to this harder late game content. That's great. That's really great. Remember, my goal last season was only Greater Rift 42, and we're already knocking out a 40. I knew Kunai's Cube was going to make the game, you know, I knew it was going to allow you to progress further than was capable in the past. But I did not think it was going to be this much of an increase. Like, most of my gear isn't ancient or anything. It's itemized relatively well. We got a lot of cooldown reduction, as I mentioned, but our damage could definitely be higher than this for sure. What do you mean arcane beams hurt? Preposterous. I actually almost died. We do still have cheat death, so I guess I can just kind of stand in here and tank this a little bit. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, this is... There was cheat death. It just happened. It just happened. I'm just gonna get my progress over. I'm gonna keep moving. Fire chains and shielding is not what I want to see. Oh god, right after cheat death is procced. Not what I want to see at all. Basically, shielding, if I attack at the wrong time, completely nullifies all of my 7-sided strike damage. All of it. Luckily we're gonna be just fine. Well, we have a shield pylon going on right now as we're moving into the boss. So, good game. This isn't gonna go very far. Pretty good time to get a shield pylon, though. Actually, I may not kill him in time. This thing may fade. But with dashing strike and 7-sided strike, it should not be that hard to avoid his attacks once it's gone. It's about to fade right now. So let's see how hard this guy can hit. We're just gonna save 7-sided for when the animation is over his head, and when we don't have it, we're just gonna blink behind him with dashing strike. Alright, not bad. Greater Rift 40 in the bag! 240 blood shards at this level. Don't mind if I do. So, I am going to farm some more of these Greater Rift keys. Let's go ahead and take a look at these legendaries we have. You know, it's possible we could have an upgrade right here. But I am working... I did not come up with this build. Dat Mods did. Years and years ago, I believe. But it's been refined. It's basically a speed clearing build for Monk that relies on gold drop. I don't quite have the build progressed enough to really show it off. But in the next video, I'm just going to be farming some keystones. And I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of that build. Again, not a ton, because it's... Is this an upgrade? Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that's an upgrade. We'll put this one in our stash. Make sure we don't lose this one. I like how unorganized everything else is that I have going on, but then I have this tab, and it makes perfect sense to me in every way. Okay. Oh, I am missing cooldown reduction on my amulet, actually, so my CDR could actually be better. My amulet's just a pile of garbage. Like, really, really bad. I am gonna close this. Let's roll on rings. I'm trying to get a Ring of the Zodiac for reasons. And that is not a Ring of the Zodiac. That's the Band of Hollow Whispers. No, I'm good. So, I'm going to show off that build in the next video just because I have to farm a bunch of keystones now in order to continue to level up my gems. It's going to be a while before that build is ready. And before I go, just in case you didn't know about this, because I didn't, just in case you didn't know about this, there is a way to convert gems of an other type into the type that you want. You talk to the Squirt the Peddler over here, you go down to her miscellaneous items, and you have all of this stuff going on. I need dexterity gems, obviously, always really low on them. So I can put an Essence of Emerald into the cube, and then a gem that I don't necessarily need into the cube, and it will pop out several green gems. I don't know how many you get at a time. We have 27 here now. Now we have 36, so you get 9 at a time. And this allows you to basically take the gems that you would never use, that are just going to be sitting around for months, and convert them into something tangible that you could actually do something with. As you can see, I do not have all of my gems leveled up here, but I have been going over here and doing this as much as I can. In order to get a max level gem, you need 81 of these base gems, so we're going to need one more round. And then I think you need something like 4 or 5 Death's Breaths. No big deal there, really. But this is what I've been doing to get my gems up to snuff. Almost done. We only need, what, 3 more of these? And then I'm ready to go. We need 27 crafted initially, which opens up this. We need 9 of these. 3 of these. And then boom, we have a max level gem. Apparently I have some sitting around, probably in my stash, but you know what, that's okay, we can use those later. And then we just remove these and put in the big guns. These are slowly increasing my damage and, you know, my avoidance and stuff. I think it does dodge, maybe it doesn't, I don't think it does anymore. I think it's armor. What does dexterity do? Dude, back in vanilla, dexterity used to give dodge and it was amazing. Does it not say? Huh. Okay. Well, oh, it's over here. Primary attribute for demon hunters and monks, increases damage by, wow, that's a lot of percentage. Yeah, and armor. Back in vanilla Diablo, that used to give dodge, so you would just max out your dex on monks and you could live forever. It was the best. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to do the speedrun build in the next video. Keep in mind, it's not done yet. Still a work in progress. And I'll see you all next time.